So we have discussed about some of the methods, and we have tried and we have seen, and even we have seen this find and exist how it works. So now let us see some other new concepts. I'm just going to see our course. So we have discussed about select queries also, right? Select queries and query classes. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the form override methods. Okay. Then we'll see some examples on form level, and we'll go to other concepts. So earlier, actually, what we have done, we have seen some of the forms, how to create a new form, and how to set the, how to, while we are creating a new form, how to set the form templates and how to use the form templates, how to set the joins. We have seen like how to create the header and lines by using different joins and all we have seen. So currently our plan is like to see how to use the override methods in the form level. Okay. So let me take one simple form quickly. Let me create one form quickly so that we can, do practice on that form. So I'm just creating a one form now. I don't have anything here. I don't have even any standard table also. Okay. Fine. What I'll do, I'll take the standard table and I'll create a form because I don't have any custom table which I have created. So what I'll do, we can use like that also. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a form with standard table, not with the custom table. So add an item, go to user interface, and I'm taking a new form. I'm giving the form name called. For example, if I'm creating for custom table, I'm just giving custom table form. The form name is custom table form. Add this form. So once you add your form, so we have to set the, first of all, we have to add the data source. So what I'm going to do, I'm just opening my table. What table I would like to add? Custom table. Custom table. I'm also can filter in the search here. Custom table. So automatically what it will do, it will filter the custom table data here, which is matching with the custom table. You can go to user interface. You can go to user interface forms. You can select the custom table. Sorry, it's table we need, right? I'm sorry. So go to tables and go to custom table and drag and drop that table to the data source. So table has been added as a data source here. Okay. And actually in the data source level, we have some of the important properties also we have. If you want to disable the creating a new record or deleting a record or modifying a record, we can do here in the properties level. So what you can set, allow create, it will not, if you default is this, if you made it as no, you cannot create any records in this form. Okay, if you make it like allow delete yes, default is yes, if you make it as no, so that you cannot delete any records from this form. Okay. Hello. Sorry. So allow edit is like to edit the record. So if you generally it will allow us to edit. If you make it no, it will not allow us to edit that record. We can, some of them we can try this. Parallelly, we have seen link types and join source we have seen. Okay. And if I open some standard form, for example, if I open the standard custom table form, standard data source properties, you can see index. You can see index has been assigned from the table index. If you go and see in the table level, what is the primary index? That index has been assigned here in the data source properties to improve the performance also. Okay, while you're opening this form, it's automatically by using this index, it will fetch the data. Okay. Similarly, if you're creating your table, your form, this is my cust table form. So similarly, I'm using the same cust table as a data source. I can set the index here. You can see that indexes here. So these are all the indexes which we are getting from the cust table level indexes. You can see in the drop down. Okay. So I'm setting up this, then this is fine. So now what I'm going to do, I have to assign the design patterns. Apply pattern, go to, I'm assigning simple list pattern. So it's easy for us to finish quickly. Take simple list. Action pen. First one I have taken action pen. You know, right, all this. I'm taking second one is which one you have to take group. I'm taking quickly because we have done this one already. Next one is grid. So 3 controls are done. So in action pen, I'm not going to add anything. Form group control, again, it's asking to add one more pattern. That is custom and quick filters. Quick filter control we have to add here. So you are seeing right here, which is highlighting in this pattern tab, quick filter control. Take your, just give me a minute. Can you hear me? So we have taken this controls, our form is ready. So then I have to add the fields whichever is required for us in the grid. So 4 fields I have added. I'm saving this. So now our form is ready. Okay. If my form is ready, then I'm just adding as a menu item. Okay. So go to your project, add a new item, go to user interface. I'm adding as a display menu item. Custom table form menu item. Display menu item. You know right about menu items. For the forms, we'll create a menu display menu item. Display menu item properties. Object type is form. Object is custom table form. So this is our form. I'm setting up for this display menu item. So once this is done, so your display menu item is ready. So this menu item, I can add it to the user interface to access the form. Okay. So where I would like to add this form, in which place we have to decide. I would like to add an existing menu, that is existing module, or new module. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I will add on the existing module. How to add existing module? Let me show you how to do that. First of all, go to user interface. In the user interface, we'll have menus. In the menus, you can see all the modules as each menu. Okay. If you'd like to add your custom table form in the accounts receivable modules in the customers, for example, so you have to create extension. Still, we have not started about extensions concept. If you want to add any additional changes on the standard objects in terms of object wise, if you would like to add extra fields, or if you'd like to add any changes on the form level, if you'd like to add any changes on the menus or menu items or wherever it is, we cannot directly go and add into that object. We have to create extension. So now my intention is here, I just wanted to add some object inside this menus. So I have to add my menu item in this menu. So you can right click on this accounts receivables menu. You can create extension. So you can similarly you can create extensions for most of the objects. Okay, for tables you can do it, for queries you can do it, for forms you can do it. Similarly you can do it. So if you see, it's automatically created an extension. So accounts receivables dot assignment model. Okay, once it is created, once you open this extension, so this extension will show the standard objects, standard elements which is there inside this. But you cannot delete anything and you cannot modify anything. So similarly, whatever you are seeing here, same thing it will show in the extension. Okay, kind of mirror. See, this is original one, accounts receivables menu. Okay, it is in sys and application suite. Okay, so this is the original one, and this is the extension. Extension also looks like similar, but it will be shown as a faded subnodes. Okay, you cannot do any changes on it. So this is only the option. I can add extra on top of it. I can add menu reference or separator, submenu, all those things. But on the standard one, you cannot add anything. If you add also, it will not work. You should not do that on the standard. We have to create extension, and extension only we have to do it. So what is my idea now? I just wanted to add my menu item in this menu. What is my menu item? Display menu item, custom table form. Take this and add into this customers. So it's got added here, custom table form. So once this is done, go to your menu display menu item and set the label. What is the label you would like to see from the UI? And keeping it as customer table form. Generally in the form level also we have to set the caption. Go to your form, open the form, go to design properties, and you can set the caption. Simply I'm just keeping customer data. Okay, so things are ready now. So we have created a table. This is a kind of one flow what we are discussing now. Creating entities, required entities, base enums, table, Of course, in the table, we'll create table fields and relations, field groups, or whatever the required things we will create in the table. And then we'll create a form and adding the table into form and making ready the form. Then menu item and adding that menu item to the menus. Okay, this is the flow. Now we have added our menu item to the menu. This is ready now. So I'm just build the project and we can open from the UI. I don't want to open from the Visual Studio now because I have added from the UI level. So I can directly open that object from the UI. The project cannot be built and the build is in progress. Let me see who has connected. Just give me a minute. Actually, some issue.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Sir, class lo uన్నా sir.
Yeah, I understand. Anybody else using? Narendra is using. Can you check and let me know quickly? Yeah. Let me close and open this. Some issue. So now I'm building a project. So let's see. So once this build is completed, so we can open from UI and we can access that form. So I got some issue here. So you understood, right? Complete process what we have done. So once this is done, yeah, now build is started now. So some other issue like other users might not close properly. Okay. So generally in real time, you will not see such kind of issues because in real time for every developer, we will have separate VM. Okay. So that VM is only allocated to the developer.
Sir, can you share your screen, please?
Oh, you cannot see my screen?
Yes, because my connection has disconnected. Yes.
So we got some errors. So let me see. So did you see why we are, can you understand why we got this many errors? Display method, show pattern.
I think you have not referenced these projects into your model.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was expecting. So let me do that quickly. Display method, add module reference. There's so many references are missing because we have taken the custom table, but I'll do one thing to resolve this quickly. I'll take some other small table instead of taking this custom table. Taking custom group. Add this. Done. Filter properties also we have to set this.
background voice enough.
So maybe still we may get some errors. Let me see by the time what is our model and what are all the models packages has been referred. Assignment model. Go to your model management. Update model parameters. Assignment model. Select your assignment model. Go to next. And default it was there like application suite, platform, and foundation. So let's see, are we getting any other errors with this? So for custom group table, we haven't get such errors because custom table there are so many fields and so many things are there. So that's why you are getting. So this is like 10 fields are there in custom group. So there is no any issues now. So build is completed successfully. Now I am refreshing my page from UI. So now after this, what I'm going to discuss, now I'm going to discuss about how to use some of the override methods. What is the sequence of override methods in the form level? So you have seen, right, how I have created extension for a menu. And in that menu only, in the extension menu only, I'm able to add my display menu item. So, okay, it's an unstandard menu only I was adding. Okay, accounts receivables, accounts receivables menu. For that, I have created accounts receivables dot assignment model. This is the model name. When you create any extension, it will create with that name dot your model name. That's how extension will get created. Now let's go to accounts receivables module, go to modules, go to accounts receivables. So you can see customer table form, which I have added now. It's a new form. Okay, so this is the form I have added now. Customer group. If you want, you can add a new record, and if you want to filter that data, you can filter here. So the form name I have given as a customer data. Earlier we thought to add customer, right? So I forgot to change that. Because this is customer group data generally, but everything the naming convention I have given custom table. So later we have changed it. Okay, so is it clear for you? Hello.
Yes, for me it's
So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about some of the override methods. Generally in the form level, just give me a minute. In the form level, so in the form level, actually we can use the override methods, right? So if you go to form level, you can see the first, once you expand the form, you can see methods. These are all the form override methods. Okay, you can see so many methods. And if you go to data source, wherever you see methods, next to that you can see events. Okay, and if you go to data source level, if you go inside the data source, you can see data source methods. Next to that events. We'll talk about what is events and how do we use it later. So I'm just mainly discussing about methods, form methods and data source methods. Okay, if you go to any field inside the data source, if you go to any field, the field level, if you go inside the field, you can see field level override methods again. Like click data source field override methods. Okay, you can see all the override methods. And if you go to design level, if you go to every control, any control, whether it is a grid or tab or quick filter, whatever it is, every control inside that control you can see override methods again. Okay, so anything, any control you take, right? So now what we have seen now, like similarly in 4 places we can take the methods. One is form methods, and form data source methods, and form data source field level field override methods. Okay, then go to design, and the control level, for every control we can take the override methods. Okay, 4 places. So now generally when you're opening a form, so while you're opening a form, if you want to execute some logic or if you want to do something, so what we can do, we can take form override methods or form data source override methods. If we talk about form override methods, we have init method, that is initializing method. What is init method? Initializing. What initializing? While you're opening the form, if you would like to initialize some values and if you based on the conditions, you would like to filter the data, or if you want to do such kind of things, we will use the init method. Okay, this is the init method. I'm overriding init method, so that init method has been created in the form. Save this. So the next one is, I'm closing that thing. It has been created in init method, and there is another method called run method.
These methods are different from the table methods, which are there, table override.
Yeah, of course, these methods are different. Table override methods are different. That is, you will write in table. These methods are in form level methods. So run method. Okay, when you write something in the table level, when you're using that table in the form level, that methods will get triggered. Because while you're, say for example, if you write something in the table override method like init value or some validate, right? So that will be triggered while you're using that table in the form level. Because end user will not go and use any table, right? End of the day, table will be added into forms. That forms will be opened from UI. That's how table will work. Okay, whatever you write in the table level, that will be executed. It will, it will trigger when we are meeting that event. For example, you are writing some logic in init value, or you are writing some logic in validate write or validate field, modified field. How it will work? Anyway, the table has been added in the form. Will go to form. As end user, he will come here and then he'll modify that field, or he will put some value in the field. So the such cases, validate field or modified field. So when he is creating a new record or when he is modifying a record and saving, so in such cases and all, validate write and all those methods will be executed.
So same applies with the table methods and field methods also.
Anything. What does it mean of table method? How it's going to be used from the end user? He will be accessing the table from UI only, right?
Yeah.
From form only, right? So that's how they'll call. So other than table methods, Just a minute. Yeah. So the concept you understood, right? How the table methods will be used and how it will be triggered. So now we are discussing about form methods. Form methods also, like for every form override method it will be executed on specific event. If you talk about init method, it will be triggered while you are opening the form. If you take the run method, it will be triggered while you are opening the form. But there is a sequence. Which method will get executed first? Which method will get executed next? Similarly, if you go to data source override methods, here also you can see similar kind of methods. Okay, you can see init method here also. You can see init method here, and you can see like, excuse me, you can see write method, and here also you can see validate write method. Similarly, like table level, and you can see run method here. Sorry, not run method. Execute query method you can see here. Okay. Sorry. Execute query method. So first thing, what we have to understand, you have to understand what are the major, most of the methods will be used. What is the sequence? Which method will get executed on what event? Okay, that is the main important thing we have to know. So once we know that, so later we can take that those all the override methods in a sample form. You can put some logic, or you can put some statements. Okay, which method is getting executed first? Which method is getting executed next? Once you understood, then you can try some of the sample examples. Something like you can try your own examples, or you can see the standard some of the forms how they have written the logic. Then once you're good with that, then you can try some assignments. Okay, now I'm going back to the browser and show you like which methods the sequence of form opening. So if you see this, like so if you see this, generally when you're opening a form, yeah. So if you see this, I think so you can understand by seeing this. If we take like some of the override methods like form method, form init method, form data source init method, and form run method. Okay, form data source execute query and active method. When you take these 5 override methods, so this is the sequence will get executed. Okay. And if you take some of the sequence while you're closing the form, if you're closing the form can close, and close methods will be get called. Okay. And if you are taking some of the data source methods, create, init value in the data source, init value, and data source active. If you see here, like form data source create, form data source init value method is there in the table level also. if you take form data source init value and table init value methods, first will be executed init value in the form data source, then table init value will get executed. In form data source active method. Active method is the method in the form level data source method, which will get execute in the same sequence, and parallelly whenever you select any record, okay, it will automatically get called. Okay, sequence of methods called while saving the record. Data source validate write, table validate write, form data source write, and table insert. So this is the sequence. So sequence of method calls while deleting the record in the form. Form data source validate delete, table validate delete, table delete, form data source active. Okay, while modifying the fields in the form. Table validate field, table modified field. Are you able to understand what exactly I am discussing now? Hello.
Yes, yes.
So now what you have to do? You have to so you have to take some of the override methods, and you have to put some comments, or you have to put some infos, so that you'll understand how it is executing. So if you want to start on doing some small logics and all, if you would like to write, so what we can do, I'll give you some small examples. Parallelly, you can see some of the standard forms to understand. I go to custom table form. You see in the custom table form, init method has been already taken. They have written the init method, standard table. So you can see what they are doing in the init method. So they are assigning some value to the buffer, and they are trying to get the some other value from some other place while initiating the form. Based on that, logic has been written. What some value has to be updated, or so this is the standard logics. So you may get confused. I'll give you some small examples to do on some small examples on the form level. Okay, but currently what you can do, you can take one new form and create a form and take small, some of the override methods which you would like to use it, and you just put the comments on that override method with info, so that you can see what method is executing which order. Okay, so that you will understand how the methods are executing on what scenario and what event.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
I have one question. Here in data source, like at table level, you are assigning one init override method, and you are assigning initial value to some field. Say there is a field A, B, C, D. There are field A, B, C, D. So you are assigning one value to table A at whenever we create a record. So A field will get one value. So at form level also, you are taking this init override method. So this init override method will assign value to which fields? This will assign value to fields or some other?
No, here also for init value you can assign the value. So that's what I'm telling you. Based on the sequence, which sequence will be in data source level also you can take init value. Similarly like table level. But actually based on the sequence, which method will get execute first, which method will get execute next. So the last execution method only, that value will be assigned to that field. But based on your necessity only you will do, right? Why do we have to keep it in both two places? Assigning the value to that field.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That this form init method will also assign value to fields only.
Form init value will not assign the field. Init value, like you can use it for different purpose, not only for assigning the field. Init value is there in the data source, that you will use it for the initializing the record. Init method will execute while you're opening the form. Init value method will execute while you're creating a new record. This init method will get executed while you're opening the form, while
Okay.
initializing the form.
Okay.
Init value method will get executed while you're
When I'm
creating a new record.
creating a record.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is the difference.
Yeah.
But same init value method is there in the table level and even data source level. Data source level, most of the methods are like similarly like table methods, most of them. Okay. You just take some of the override methods. I'll give you some, I mean, info for you to do that. Try that and we'll discuss. Okay, I'll come with some other examples tomorrow. Any doubts for you guys till now? Hello? Lakshman?
Yes, sir.
Srinivas? Yeah, do you have any doubts?
I have downloaded with the code. My laptop Wi-Fi signal is poor, so I could not hear everything properly.
Go through this video and let me know if you have any doubts.
Okay.
Okay.